Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sports Vault. I am your host with the most, Jersey Joe Archino. And look, a lot of breaking news today. UEFA Champions League, Deflategate, it's all coming out of the woodworks, and it's time to break it down and set the record straight. Obviously, Deflategate has been I've been trying to stay away from the news today because I don't want the UEFA Champions League results ruined, but this did come up, so I had to dig through my phone a little bit, avoiding the scores to see this. Clearly, the Wells report finds that New England was partially responsible, and they were guilty. And look, I was on the air a lot early in the semester talking about this, how this is just bad. No matter what happened with this previous Super Bowl, it was going to be bad, because if Seattle won, it wasn't going to mean as much because we all were going to point the fingers at New England. And if New England won, no one was going to consider it as legitimate because of the Deflategate issue. It's been a lot of time, and now it seems like New England was responsible, and Tom Brady, certainly Tom Terrific, is certainly not looking terrific in the pretty good boy anymore. Right now, for the reasons described in this report, and after a comprehensive investigation, the Wells report has concluded that in connection with the championship game, it is more probable than not that the New England Patriots personnel participated in violations of the playing rules. I'm not going to read you the entire thing, but at the end it says that it is also our view that it is more probable than not that Tom Brady, the quarterback for the Patriots, was at least generally aware of the inappropriate activities of these equipment people, McNulty and Jastrzemski, which their names are being referred to right now. But look, I think the question now that we all have this information, there's text messages, and again, I haven't read all this information. I just saw this and wanted to get the initial thoughts out there. But the question that's going to come up is, does it tarnish Tom Brady's legacy? And if you ask me, absolutely. There's not a question in my mind. When you're comparing all-time greats and legends, the only thing you have is to compare them to other all-time greats and legends. That means Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana. You know the three things that those guys don't have connected with them? Deflating footballs. I think it's one thing, and it's all, look, if you listen to me and you've been following my stuff, you know that I'm all as anti-steroid, anti-cheating in sports as it is. Because sports at the end of the day is entertainment. We watch it because we want to be entertained. If people felt like what they were watching was somehow not truthful, they wouldn't watch. And it's the reason why Major League Baseball can never recover in my eyes. It's just all about integrity, the integrity of the game. We hear the commissioner talk about it so much, but it really is so important, because at the end of the day, we don't want, if there's cheating at the professional level, it defeats the purpose of sports. We watch it because it does. Even if you're the best team in the world and you're playing the worst team in the world, you still don't know what's going to happen when the two teams take the field. That's why sports is amazing, because unlike scripted entertainment, sports is unscripted. No one can write what's going to happen. And when that is threatened in any way, it diminishes our interest. It takes away our enjoyment. And if you take away the fans' enjoyment, there's nothing more dangerous. And that's certainly the point I hammered in early in the year when this Deflategate stuff was coming out. And it kind of went away for a long time, and now it's back, and we're seeing that it's absolutely true. And again, if you ask me, there's not a question in my mind that I will never look at Tom Brady the way that I do the other guys. It's just true. I mean, people are going to say, well, look, it can't mean that much. And again, it's not what they did. It's just the notion of cheating is the most dangerous thing in sports. There's nothing that threatens the integrity of games or leagues more. You look at whenever cheating scandals happen. That's why Pete Rose in Major League Baseball, why it was such a big deal. And some people don't think it was. But when people think that what they're watching is not true, it's not accurate, it's not being played fairly and evenly with both teams, there's nothing that takes your enjoyment away more. It's the reason for me why Major League Baseball just doesn't mean anything anymore, is because who knows if you can trust what you're watching. The records don't mean anything anymore. And look, this past Super Bowl certainly is going to have a little bit of a connection to this now. It's never going to be legitimate as other ones are, because At the end of the day, all people are going to think about is this Deflategate looming over it, how the Patriots got there, and it's sad for the game, but you know what? It is what it is. There has to be a punishment. There absolutely has to be. There has to be consequences for what you did. It'd be one thing if this wasn't associated with an organization who hadn't done this type of thing before. But I think when you look at the Patriots, you look at Bill Belichick, everything that's ever happened with them, with all this other stuff, this nonsense that's gone on with them, the fact that they continually kind of do this and bend the rules and do things like this, I think a strong message has to be sent. And it's not just on Tom Brady. It's not just on the equipment staff. This is a Bill Belichick thing. When you're the head coach of your team, you take the responsibility. And the responsibility is certainly partially on him here. And look, it's just, I don't want to be talking about this. I really don't. But at the end of the day, when the integrity of the game is threatened, we have to come down hard. It just the only way. The reason I talk about this stuff so much, whether it's steroids in baseball or now Deflategate in this, it's because it needs to be constantly talked about, because if sports ever, again, cheating in sports, to me, is the most dangerous thing that could be presented, because when people, the second I felt like what I was watching wasn't legitimate, I would stop watching. And it's part of the reason why for baseball I stopped watching for a long time. When the steroid era was happening, I couldn't care less who was on or who was playing, because I knew what I was watching was garbage. I knew all the home runs I was seeing, garbage. Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, all of it garbage. And I'm not going to waste my time watching something. It's like watching wrestling, honestly, like the WWE. Now, the WWE is different because it's scripted entertainment. But sports, like I said before, is not scripted entertainment. The notion that two teams are going to take the field and no one knows what's going to happen, they're both on a level playing field. Look, we want a level playing field in life. We want a level playing field in sports. The two are very connected. The passions run deep in both. And the fact that this happens again, it just shows you. Now, again, I'm going to read over all of this stuff that comes out. This is the initial stuff that I've read, and it's about almost 6 o'clock this Wednesday. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of more information. I haven't read a ton of stuff, but just the initial things I've been seeing, I read a little bit. I wanted to give my initial thoughts because I'm sure, based on all the content I did about this when it was around Super Bowl time, I'm sure people wanted to hear the thoughts on it. And look, that is my thought. I feel the same way now that I did before I left and stopped talking about this around the Super Bowl time when the story kind of died down. There's no question in my mind that punishments have to come down. Certainly this Super Bowl will be devalued in my eyes. Tom Brady's image, again, for me, it's not going to mean the same. When you're comparing him to the all-time greats, and a lot of people after winning this Super Bowl want to put him at number one, can't do it. I won't put him over Montana. I won't put him over Manning. I won't put him over the other guys who don't have this garbage connected to them. It's just at the end of the day, just remember this. We want a level playing field in life, and we want a level playing field in sports. Something the Patriots certainly have never lived up to, and it's something that as a sports fan just threatens the very existence and integrity of everything that professional sports has been built on and that it means. And right now, it's not a fun time. Clearly, though, punishment has to come, and I hope that it will. But right now, that is going to do it. I'm going to sign off. We'll certainly see how this situation continues to unfold. I'm really curious to see what other people are thinking. But right now, for me, I think punishment has to be severe. It have to show that this is not going to be tolerated. The integrity of the game always has to be the top priority, and right now, the integrity is certainly threatened. But that's going to do it. Jersey Joe Archino. Follow me at SportsVault Might be tweeting about this later, depending on more information that I see. But for now, I am signing off.